Hi everybody, this is Joyce Barnes again, and this is part 2. In this part of the tutorial, we're going to talk about how to actually publish your website. Remember, your website is just a collection of files, and in order to view your files in a browser, you're going to have to send them somewhere. You're going to have to upload them somewhere. In other words, you're going to have to publish them. So I'm assuming that you've done your file, you've opened up Notepad or some kind of a program like Notepad, and you've done your original file with all the necessary tags. You tested it in a browser to make sure that everything works. If you decided to use a photograph, you've actually renamed the photograph so that the name is small, lowercase, no spaces, and you have everything in one particular folder. So once you've done all that, then the next thing you have to do is publish, and that's what I'm going to show you step by step how to do that. The very first thing that you have to do is contact Bob Full, who is in IT at Coastal, and his email is bfull@coastal.edu. He has to actually set a password for you in the Coastal web server. So what you're going to do is you're going to email Bob Full. You're going to give him your username, which is your regular username that you use for email and Blackboard and everything else in Coastal. And then you're going to actually tell him your desired password. I would recommend that you use the same password that you use for everything else, but and he's an IT guy. He's not going to steal your information. He works with these things all the time, but he's the guy that you have to send the information to. And once you send him your desired password in an email, I'm sure that he'll get back to you right away and say, okay, it's set. Now the next thing you're going to do is you're going to need some kind of a program. There are so many different ways to publish, but the thing that we've had the best success with in this particular class, because we're working on a very basic level, is a program called Filezilla. And the program Filezilla is actually something that's free. You can download it from the internet. You're going to download the client, and you're going to download the one that's for your type of computer. So I'm just going to go here to the website. Let's see if I could open it on my computer. And the website is on the sheet that's in Blackboard, but you're going to look for client download, and then it's going to say what kind of a platform do you have. Platform meaning is what is your operating system. Do you have Windows? Do you have Linux? Do you have Mac OS? Then there's some more advanced things. But for me, I would basically just use the Windows, and I would download it to my computer and install it. And if you don't know how to do that kind of thing, then you can, there's screenshots, there's download documentation, there's some more information on this particular website, but this is the program that I recommend. Once you download this and you install it, then you can open it on your computer, and I'll show you what it looks like as soon as I find it. Filezilla. Now I've already downloaded it on my computer, so I have the program here. And it's going to open any day now. A newer version is available. I'm not going to mess with that right now. This is just for demo purposes. Okay, now this is what the basic Filezilla platform looks like. Up here there are some boxes that you're going to fill in. The host, your username, your password, and then you're going to click Quick Connect. And I'll do that in a minute. But the way this is set up is the local site is actually your computer. So the local site is on the left-hand side, and the remote site is on the right-hand side. And the remote site is the file server once you've connected to it. So in order to talk to the file server or talk to the remote site, you're going to have to put in some information. And first of all, make sure you send your password to Bob Full, bfull@coastal. And once you've done that and he sets your password for you, then you can download Filezilla, and the host is the www2 web server. So it's www2.coastal.edu. Now that is the name of the server that we're going to, www2. It's not www, but www2. The username is your particular username. Like mine is J Barnes, and yours is probably your first initial and some letters of your last name. And then the password is the password that you've decided to use for this particular application. And again, I highly recommend that you use the password that you use for everything, and that way you don't have to worry about remembering what your password is. So I'm going to type in my password that I have for my Coastal accounts. So again, the host www2.coastal.edu, username, your username, mine is J Barnes, and the password is the password that you have sent to Bob Full so that he can set it for you. And then I'm going to connect. Up here there is a quick connect button, so I'm going to click that and keep my fingers crossed, and sure enough, here it is. It gives you a bunch of messages up here if you've been successful. And another way that you know that you're successful, it'll tell you directory listing successful, but then you're going to see your account here. It's not going to look exactly like this because I've got a bunch of different folders here. But these are all the files that I have already uploaded to the Coastal web server, and these are the files on my computer. And then what I need to do now is, say for instance you just have a blank site, you're going to take your index file, which is, here's a sample of mine. First you have to find it on your computer, so you'll have to look in your different directories. Is it in My Documents, and is it, where else can you find it? Did you put it in some other folder? And that's, you know, always a scavenger hunt, trying to find your file. But once you find it, once you find the folder that it's in, then you should be able to see it. Let me see if I have something on my desktop here that I could use as a sample. I'm not really going to do it this time because I already have so much stuff up there. I don't want to really mess around with my index file quite yet because I'm not sure what's there at this point, but and I don't even know where I put that new index file. But anyways, you're going to find the folder that has your, here's my CCU personal page. Now I have an index file here, I have something with student names, and I have some other information. So what you can do is you can just take this file on the left hand side, select it, and then drag it over. And again, I'm not going to actually do it because I don't want to mess up this particular website, but drag it over to the right hand side. And then the same thing with your picture. You take the picture and you drag it over to the right hand side. So in your particular folder you will have an index file and a photograph file. And once you have it over there, everything will be fine. And the way you can check to see if it worked is you can actually go to your Coastal web server. And I'm just going to open up a blank web page. La, 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 la. Tuesday night, nothing on TV. Okay, now to get to your website, you would have to type in www2.coastal.edu/your username. I'm just going to type in J Barnes and see what comes up. I have no idea what my index page is because I haven't done this since last semester. And then hit enter. Oh, it's my samples from fall 11. So I did an index page where I actually put all the students in my last class, and then I linked this to the Blackboard class, and I usually do this every semester. So the reason that this comes up first is because I called this particular page index.edu. And then each one of these pages is a folder. So if I click on, I'm trying to remember who has a website. Some of the students didn't finish the class, but now you notice here he has one on the Marketing Club. So his is www2.coastal.edu DT Corbo. That's his. And these will all open in a separate window. Jeffrey King, let's see what he did his on. Okay, he did his all about him, and he actually did links to his different projects that he did for the class. So he did Project 3, or Project 4, Project 5, and that's okay. I mean, you can use you can change this page, you can modify this page, you can upload an index page, and if you don't like it, you can upload another index page, and you can just experiment and play around with it. And every time you change it on your computer and you want it to be changed on a real website, on the official website, then you're going to have to take any changes that you made, because remember, a website is nothing but a copy of any pages that you have designed or made on your computer, and you just simply send it up to the web server, and then that's how it displays the page. Now, if I want to look at his HTML, I'm kind of afraid sometimes to look at these, because a lot of people did use things like, and you can tell he did by some of it's a little more advanced. They might have used expressions, which is used to be called front page, but now it's called Microsoft Expressions. They might have used Dreamweaver. They might have used, there's another web design software that I recommend in Blackboard, and it's free, and it's called, what is it called? I can't even remember anymore. I think I've changed this page since I've uploaded this, but I'm not going to drag this out any longer, because I'll talk about this in class on tomorrow, on Wednesday. But here are the basic instructions in Blackboard. First, you have to send your password to Mr. Bob Full. Once you do that, because I've already had him create all the pages for everybody, they're just basic pages. Then I put the basic instructions up here. Here's also some additional instructions if you want to copy that code. Here's a website that's really good that kind of gives you some information. Here's some other text editors that you can use. You can install Notepad++. If you're a Mac user, you can install Text Wrangler. Again, there's a little bit of learning that you're going to have to do, but you all can figure it out. And last but not least, Composer. That's the free one. Composer is a program that you can download that will let you create your final project, and you do not have to know HTML. Not that you shouldn't know HTML, you should know the basics, but once you know the basics, then you should be able to kind of convert that knowledge into using some kind of a publishing program. So that's some of the information. I'm going to put this video under this HTML and Filezilla demo so that you'll understand and be able to watch me do it. And if you have any questions, bring them to class on the 19th. If you're having too many problems, if things don't work, be careful of your file names. File names are extremely important. Be careful of don't call it anything except index.html. Don't call it index 1, index 2, index 3. A lot of people make a mistake and then they say, well, I'm going to make another file, but just give it a slightly different name. The web browser is only going to look for index.html. Don't upload a folder. Just upload index and a picture. That's it. This is just a sample, just to get you started, just so that you see the basics. And again, bring your questions, play around with it, have fun with it, make it as elaborate as you'd like, or make it as simple as you'd like, but just get the idea and connect to the web server. That's the whole idea of this project, to get you to connect to the web server. And I will see everybody in class. Have a good day.